Come on, we didn't even bring up the clapping.
I didn't even do it.
Let's bring that up, Terrance. We'll edit this part out.
50 shows and still can't get it right.
Nope. 50 shows and we have no idea how to do audio. Welcome everyone to Need I Say More, episode 50. I am one of your hosts, Giuseppe, joined by the co-host with most, Terrance.
Yes, sir.
Man, 50 episodes, dude. We gotta get some clapping up for that. It's a big deal. No, I mean 50 episodes. Come on, man, that's a big deal. I mean, the first time we tried the podcast, we did like 10 or 12. So I mean, we're doing pretty good now.
Yeah, for sure. Second round of it, the revamp, I should say, of
the gray area. See, that's gonna be one of those things when like the bigger we get, only like the old school people are gonna know that was our original name.
Yeah.
Be like, how long have you been listening for? Be listening since Gray said me too, gray area. Yeah.
That's a big deal, though. It's a big deal. It's important. It's important to know that it's a big deal. Not only that,
what, the 50 episodes?
50 episodes, yeah. That's a commitment. That's a huge commitment. And
we've never missed a week, Terrance.
Yeah, people have to understand that. Because even like a day like today, I didn't feel like doing this shit today. Like I'm dealing with a lot. I really didn't feel like taking, an hour and 15 minutes out of my day to, talk, regardless of
all of our new listeners are like, well, we're out.
But this is a commitment. We do this for the people, internationally.
You also love doing it though. I mean, even if you don't want to do it, once you're in it, you're like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got to turn it on. You got to turn it on. The show must go on. You got to be able to get into Mamba mode. R.I.P. Kobe. You gotta be able to do that.
That was the beginning of the end when Kobe passed. A month later, COVID, and look where we're at now, Terrance. That was it. That was he was like protecting us with his force field, and then he died. I
saw somebody sent a tweet in 2018. It was like, enjoy this year because it goes down from here. Yeah, well. In 2018, they sent that tweet. Like, it was funny.
I feel like you could send that out at any time, and it will always feel that way. But yeah, man. 50 episodes is a big deal. Obviously, in episode 52, we're gonna have a big anniversary because that's technically 1 year, obviously. But it's still, I think hitting 50 is a big mark. When we hit 100, for instance, it's also going to be a big mark. These aren't jokes. You know what I mean?
Milestones.
Yeah, absolutely. But of course, Terrance, before we get too far in the show, let's of course do our patented Black Excellence shout out of the week.
Black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black.
Oh yeah. Black Excellence can't stop, won't spot. Shout out of the week goes out to my man Kareem Biggs Burke. Now, a lot of you probably wondering, who the hell is this? Well, if you're a fan of the show, Jay-Z and Wesley Snipes are two of our favorite people ever on earth. Ever.
You know what I realized recently? That you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. It's a Jay-Z thing.
So we technically line.
We're quoting him every single show.
It is a Jay-Z line.
Did not know that, but love that now that I know it.
Absolutely. So with that though, obviously we got to make sure that we continue in the J family tree. And a lot of you may not know about Kareem Biggs Burke, but he is one of the 3 founding members of Rockefeller Records. Jay-Z, Dame Dash, Kareem Biggs Burke. Right.
Damon Dash?
Yeah, Dame Dash.
That's a hell of a name, man. Just
Damon.
I mean, his real name is Damon Dash. I mean,
yeah. But Dame came from, what's Dame's Lillard actual name? What's Damon Lillard?
Damien.
Oh, Damien.
His Damien.
Oh, right. His Damien. Oh, his Damien. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Close.
I get it.
Very similar.
But this kind of boils into, if you listen a couple episodes ago, I had the, guy behind the guy series going on, but Biggs came up because I was kind of going through my Instagram feed, and I was like, damn, this guy had his hands in like a lot of things. Like, if you enjoy the show, the OG, Last OG, was it the Last OG or OG?
Well, Last OG is with Tracy Morgan.
Last OG is with Tracy Morgan. But regardless, he still had his hands in a lot of things going down, from the Rockaware clothing line, obviously Jay's whole career. But on top of that, I mean, the guy went to jail for selling drugs, right? Who would have thunk it? Jay winds up using
in
drugs as
2012. That seems like a weird thing to do. Like at that point, aren't you just like we're legit? We're Rockefeller. Why? What do we?
Legit, but couldn't leave the streets, right? Had a hard time untying. Hey, if I'm making money over here, do I need to do what's over here? And some people have that struggle, right? So he went away, he did his time, he came back, and the guy's bigger than ever. If you ever heard of St. John, which if you're under the age of 25, you're probably a TikTok person. So St. John's Roses, he's the manager for St. John, which is St. John's a huge artist right now. You know the song I'm talking about, right? You've heard it.
I'm sure I have, but with me with music, I have to actually hear it before I know if it's actually.
Which is shocking, ladies and gentlemen, because Joe hit me with a music.
I hit him with a lyric the other day.
He hit me with a lyric, and I was like, "Where the fuck did you get that from? How do you even know that?"
Every once in a while, I know some lyrics, and I can surprise some people with it.
That was a little weird for me. But obviously, like I said, if you're kind of like that TikTok person,
so he
definitely
is singing in the song. What is he doing this song?
St. John's dope, man.
No, but I'm saying what does this have to do with Kareem Burke? He did what?
He brought him to light. So St. John's blowing up right now. He's probably going to be, and you heard it here first, he's probably going to be the next weekend.
Okay.
He's probably going to be the next weekend. All right, you heard it here.
Music video, I'm sure he was like, "This sucks," just sitting here pretending.
Right.
By the way, it's our last show of the year, so it was a big one.
Yeah, this is a big one. This is a big one for sure. But huge shout out to Biggs for sure. Continue doing your thing. Continue to prosper. It's great to see people come out and recreate and reinvent themselves, and also learn from their mistakes, right?
Hopefully he's left with the drug dealing behind. I mean, I don't feel like you need the money anymore at this point. I feel like you probably are right.
Look, he was released in 2015. He did.
No, that's what I'm saying. Hopefully he's like, all right, well, that was kind of dumb. It's kind of like with Michael Vick and the dog thing. It's like, what are you doing? It feels like you're probably past this. You know what I mean? Like,
right? Yeah. But again, people gotta go through that lesson to leave the shit that they used to do behind.
Yeah, sometimes people do, and hopefully that's the thing. Hopefully he's done, and he's just making his millions in a legal way. So shout out to you, Terrance. Do you mind if I do a Black Excellence shout out here?
Go right ahead, my friend.
I have a wonderful woman named I believe is how you say her name, Ingenue Ellis.
Ingenue Ellis.
Ingenue, I swear, is like an Italian word. This is the woman who was in King Richard as I don't remember what her name was, but the wife. It's spelled Aunjanue. There you go. I'm sure ingenue is like an Italian word or something. I've heard this word before.
Ingenue Ellis. Okay.
She was the wife in King Richard, opposite Will Smith.
Wait. First of all, that means you saw it.
I did. I saw it, I think, actually, after we recorded last week.
All right, so we're gonna get to that.
Yeah, so my shout outs to her, because you know what, man, King Richard, which we'll get to in my thoughts in a second, but it's a movie about, right, Richard Williams, right? Like that is what the movie's about. And for her part as like the wife, the mother, I think she could have absolutely been a fairly, not small part, but like a part you don't really pay attention to. But she is so good, and she holds her own so well against a huge star like Will Smith. That she definitely gets a shout out. And you had your prediction. My prediction is Ingenue Ellis Oscar nomination in, I don't know, next month, 2 months, whenever they announce it.
Supporting actress.
Best supporting actress. That's my maybe Lee.
I like it.
I don't think she's Lee. I think she's more of a supporting. But yes, I think you're going to see an Oscar nomination because she was fantastic.
I like it. She's been around apparently too. She's done a few things.
When They See Us was supposed to be really good. Did you see this?
When They See Us.
I think it was in a miniseries.
Who's that? Lena Waithe did that.
I don't know. I love Lena Waithe. Did she? I wouldn't be surprised. Didn't she?
That sounds like something she did.
Yeah, Lena Waithe, man. She's anything Lena Waithe does. If you're listening to this, follow it. I'll look at this. She already got a ton of anyway.
Yeah, she got a.
Yeah, scroll down a little bit. Is she not in When They See Us? Yeah, When They See Us too.
When They See Us. Outstanding. Yeah, so lead actress in a limited
for an Emmy.
movie.
There was just two, and she got one for Lovecraft Country. So there you go. She's maybe on the rise a little bit in the last couple of years.
Nice.
I thought she was brilliant, so I just want to give a shout out to her because I feel like,
she was in Ray.
Yeah, back in 2004, man.
She been working.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like she's kind of on the up right now. Like the last couple of years between like Lovecraft Country, this movie. She was in Birth of a Nation, which we talked about back on the original.
You gotta go back to Gray Area days.
The original Gray Area episode. That episode might be
that was a big deal.
It was a big deal.
That was a big deal.
If Beale Street Could Talk, which is a great film. A lot of good films she's been. I think on the last couple of years, I feel like she's really on her way up. Even though it happens late sometimes.
Copy. Love.
Shout out to you, Miss Ingenue Ellis. And so I did see King Richard. I do disagree with you a little bit, Terrance. I do think Will Smith kind of.
Wait, where'd you? I was about to say, where are you disagreeing with me on? Because we got to make sure that's clear.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. You said you did really like it, but you thought he was still kind of Will Smith a bit. Not.
I couldn't see the separation. Yes.
Right. I actually kind of did. Like it's obviously impossible not to know. It's obviously looking at Will Smith, but I think he did a great job of just playing this kind of a weird guy. Like this kind of.
Did you like the accent?
I did. Yeah.
You like the accent? Okay.
Honestly, I thought King Richard was very good. I actually got teary-eyed multiple times.
No, for sure.
Surprisingly.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
I definitely think he's getting the Oscar, or at least the nomination. I mean, we'll see. I think he's going to win it just because I think it's his time. I think it's a bit of the O. And also, like I said, this is a good time to be black. Or this is a good time to be a person of color.
Always a good time to be black.
But I'm saying for like awards and stuff, like people, this is where like, everyone's getting nominations, like maybe more than they should be, but this is like a bit of a I don't know if it's whatever it is, but like Don Cheadle getting nominated for the Emmy for like the 10 seconds he was on screen. Like it's a good time to be a person of color. You're getting a lot more, and I think it's fine because I think
it's like you said, it deserves it. Not only that, it's recognition, right? It's actually paying attention to these people that are really good at their craft. They like you just said, Miss Ingenue Ellis. She been doing this for a while, obviously. Like maybe we're just starting to pay attention to her.
But you know what it is? So something I brought up, I think early on in the show, and I got mad at like Spike Lee and even like Jada Pinkett Smith because a few years ago, back in like 2013, 2014, they did the whole Oscars So White. And they were saying, only white people get nominated, blah, blah. And what I said then, I said, I think earlier in this year, I was so annoyed by that because the problem wasn't the Oscars. The problem was like, there's not enough movies that are featuring people of color. That was the real issue. And I was like, I feel like they're attacking the wrong problem. Because remember, a few years later, Black Klansman, friggin' Spike Lee's at the Oscars when he got nominated.
He won.
Yeah. And he was there. It's not like it's not like he didn't show up. Like he was mad that people like you can get mad at the system, but when you're part of the system, then you're in it, right? Like he was fine, but I will say maybe what they did, even though they attacked the wrong problem, maybe that was the first stepping stone to fixing the actual problem, which was now we have more things featuring people of color. So maybe they did their part. Maybe it was the wrong way they went about it, but maybe it still had a positive effect. I've been thinking about that, and I was a little harder on them maybe than I should have been, but anywho, but I thought King Richard was very good. I was really into it.
Now, I never denied that it's good, right? But I also
I think I just was a little higher on it than you were. But
that's I want to say, like, what do you? I rated it. I gave it a 7.5, 8 out of 10. What would you rate it?
Like an 8.5, maybe slightly
higher. Okay. We're not, so we're not that far.
No. I think I was a little bit more like into it than you. I don't think you were.
Yeah, we're not that far off. I just think
that's fine.
I felt like Will exaggerated the accent just a little bit.
Yeah, I meant to actually look up.
Richard. They showed it at the end of the movie. They showed him.
They did, yeah. And I meant to look up a little more and kind of compare it. I think I kind of forgot to do that, but
and I think that's what it was. Like I was just kind of like, well, I probably seen a little bit more videos on Richard.
Yeah,
I kind of
that stuff.
Yeah, I've seen him. Actually got to meet him at the U.S. Open one year.
Did you?
Yeah. Actually, nice. I seen Serena Williams thighs.
Massive.
No offense, but they look like horse thighs.
Dude, those things could crack your head in
Serena Williams. I've seen them in person. I was like, that's two of me.
Yeah.
In her leg.
That's the thing that I was reading about. Apparently, that's their thing was like the power like the power was what they like. Their big thing was them like smashing
leg. Like remember Chun-Li with she had a big
crazy kick
thigh
move?
at the top. Yeah, the crazy kick, but her thigh was huge. That's Serena in real life.
Hey man, that's why I say you gotta do it.
Yeah, for sure.
So anything. Speaking of, by the way, we just mentioned Black Klansman. I know this is kind of weird. You obviously me and you are big Nets fans. Have you been watching the last couple of games where we've had like rookies and stuff playing?
Peep the first one. I think I missed I caught like a couple of minutes of the last night Philly.
So tonight, by the way, Patty Mills, Kevin Durant are out. So it is quite literally all rookies and like Blake. Anyway, David Duke Jr. and Kessler Edwards. I really like these two kids. They're both rookies.
That's a hell of a
name.
Really I love that name.
Kessler
David
Edwards.
Duke Jr.
Here's the thing. He needs to change that fucking name.
David Duke. Yeah.
Yes, he's named after David Duke. What the fuck is that? What? First off, his parents really,
probably not his fault. Like, no, yeah, his parents probably didn't know.
We've talked about like you got like name you can't name your kid Trashonia or something. Like you got to think about other things when coming up with a name. Like David Duke. Like, do you really want to name your son, after like one of the most quite literally maybe the most notorious racist and anti-Semite who is like the Grand Wizard or whatever bullshit they have for the KKK?
Yeah, they probably didn't know that.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, it's probably like 20 years ago, but
look, they probably was looking at it like, maybe we just want our son's name to be David. It just it sucks, right? When
if
your
last name is Hitler, man,
yeah,
you're not gonna name him. You can name Adolf. I mean, you're gonna be like, nah.
That's the thing. It's like, what if I like the name Adolf?
Is it worth? Okay, but is it worth you liking the name when the kid, not you,
that
kids, you have to deal with that for the rest of their life? Because
in all reality, that means you're completely ignorant to like what you're naming your child.
Yeah, and it's also like that's about what that you.
Means. And no
that
offense
kid has to go through
the parents of David Duke Jr.
That kid has to go
Nets.
And Junior too. But it's like the problem is like he legitimately had to probably deal with that. Like maybe not a lot because David Duke. I mean, it's not like I think it's not. I mean, it's well known, but it's not like he's Abraham Lincoln. But like you got to think about that stuff. Like for instance, Terrance, like if you had a daughter, would you name her Heather? Heather Gethers?
Heather Gethers?
I mean, you got to think about these things. You know what I mean? Like do you really want people will make fun of her?
No, yeah, that's too easy.
That's what I'm saying.
Too easy to make
fun
of.
You have to think about the name. Like, obviously, you can make fun of anything, but you can't like a rhyming name or something doofy like that. You have to think about these things before you name your kid. And especially now in 21st century, you have to think about, like, are there any horrible famous people, like really bad people? Do you want them to be named after that? Like, if your last name is Duke right now, David, you got to scratch that off the list. It's over. Move on.
David Duke Jr.
David Duke Jr.
It's horrible.
Also, Terrance, bit of a brief shout out to, of course, Jerry, who was the only
more shout outs. Let's go. I love it. This is a shout out episode.
It's the end of the year, man. We got to do some shout outs. So Jerry, who of course hosted the show, who's the only person to ever host a show who's not me or you.
Absolutely.
This happened obviously a few months ago. So yeah, Jerry's the lead in a commercial. It just went live. I don't know if it's going to be playing on like major networks, but it's you can go watch it online right now. It's for Visible.
Hey,
that's there it is.
We love to see people from the Need I Say More podcast family tree.
Of course.
Going on to do great things.
It's a good commercial, man. She does a great job. It's like 2-minute commercial. She's the lead. It's like 2 minutes. It's like her doing a million.
What's the name of the commercial again?
Do I know the name of the commercial? It's for a company called Visible. Commercial actress. If she comes up,
they Google it. They stop playing.
That's really close to her birthday, actually.
They Googling Jerry already.
That's what I was saying. They're already like, who the hell is that beautiful? Ew.
Yo, I typed in Visible commercial, Jerry, and it's already the actress.
They're already looking for you. Yeah.
They're
already like, who is that gorgeous piece of... No,
When was the last time you went to the dentist?
What? I don't know.
Grandma made you and your roommate some chili. I mailed it.
Happy holidays, Ramona. Oh my gosh. I miss you all so much.
I'm so excited.
So we just watched the commercial. What do you think? I mean, does our girl not look amazing?
Jerry absolutely killed that shit.
I said it's like a 2.5-minute commercial. She's like in every scene. I was watching
the short. That was a short.
It basically was, right? Yeah, like
Yeah,
it wasn't
sure,
like she was in
for
like a
sure.
quick 15-second, 30-second spot. Like she wore like I think at least 5 or 6 different outfits in this one.
That was a
commercial.
short. Jerry looks amazing in it. Did a
She
great
did a great
job as
job,
well. Definitely a range of skills I saw in there. For sure. But no,
got nice and
absolutely.
corny in the end to really sell you. That's how advertisers do it now. They really want to hit you in the heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you got to make it soft, right?
I mean, you know how many
Gotta make it
commercials make
soft.
people cry these days? Fucking Google put out some random thing about like, oh, his dad is sending his daughter an email every day until she opens up when she's 18. Like they all do these crazy things now.
I'm not doing that shit.
But yeah, shout out to Jerry. You did a phenomenal job. I'm pretty sure by 2023 we'll be like, Jerry's in the new Spielberg flick in theaters next Friday.
There we go.
You know, and we're all,
and
you know,
what we'll say? She got to start right here.
Well, that'll be our claim
here.
to fame. We'll be like, she did a show. He hasn't talked to us in a year and a half, but she did the show once. So, but all right, Terrance, we're getting off track.
Yeah.
Terrance, we're gonna move on to our everyone's favorite segment, get a black man's opinion, which we did last week, of course. What is your opinion on the public snot rocket?
What the fuck is that?
You know, you like close one nostril and just blow everything out the other nostril.
I've never seen that done in real life.
Okay, the other day I was waiting for a train, and across the platform on the the uptown side,
fuck you did.
There was this. I didn't do it. There was this dude, white dude, by the way, and he didn't look like a cokehead. He looked like someone who was suffering from coke with Charles, though. He was like very spazzy, and he just did 2 of them. He did 1 on each nostril, right into. I mean, he did it into the train. Yeah, he was like standing next to a pole, but he did it into like the tracks. But he just did that, and I was like. It's like we talked about last week with the shoes. We're devolving, Terrance, into animals. Animals have better respect than this. Like cats go in litter boxes. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing. Let me tell you something about black people. We are so self-conscious on how we present ourselves in public. We're bred like this since we're young. Right?
No, I don't think this should be like a black thing because I think
I'm
seen
not
disgusting
thinking
people of all races. I've seen black people do some disgusting stuff.
Absolutely. You got a few fucking knuckleheads out here.
Unfortunately,
bring discredit to us.
You know the problem, Terrance. I feel like those weirdos that we're talking about in the show, they're outnumbering us. Like the more time goes on,
outnumbering us.
Yeah, like the normal people like us. It's like everywhere I look,
Absolutely.
I'm like, oh look, someone's doing what the fuck.
Yo,
is
let me tell you
doing?
something, Joe. Cool is not cool no more.
What is not cool? Cool is not cool.
Cool is not cool no more. And the thing, cool transition, right?
Because never even got cool, so now I'm really.
At first, cool was being just cool, right? You was part of like the varsity basketball team and some shit like that. It was that was cool, and then we transitioned where being smart was cool. And it was like, okay, now you're cool because you're the guy that knows the shit that everybody else needs to know. We have transitioned onto that to weird is cool now. Weird shit, just doing weird shit is cool.
Is it cool? Or let me ask you a question: is it cool or is it just different? Do people just want to?
It's popular.
Terrance, I saw this dude, this guy, this black dude. You know how like the classic, like your hair is just really short, you know, like trim, like you used to do. He had it like that for his whole head, but in the very back of his head, Terrance, the very back where the neck is, there was just like not cut, and it was like 2
just
inches
a patch of hair.
Literally, like right. There was no design. It was just the very back where his neck is. It was just like they didn't. He's cut his hair maybe for like last 2 months, but not that spot.
One spot.
But this is what I mean. We are desperate. Human beings are
weird shit.
But here's the thing, Terrance, human beings are desperate to be unique. And I think we've we've tried so many, like what hairstyles left. So now we're like, I don't know, I won't cut this part of my hair. There's no design. It doesn't look like anything. It's just that
what has always worked for people, right, is being different, right? When you're different, you're considered an outcast until it becomes popular.
Unless it doesn't.
Unless it doesn't, right? And then you're just the dick. Right.
But okay,
like, that just works out like that.
But the snot rocket thing, I mean, is this okay? Are we saying this is okay to do in public?
It's never okay. It's never okay to do them at all. I mean,
listen, if you're in the bathroom, but if you're in the bathroom, I mean, blowing your nose is the same.
Bro,
thing,
I was about to say use tissue. What the fuck are we doing?
Wait, but what I'm saying, let's say you're in the shower, right? Whatever. I don't care if you're blowing your nose, whatever.
I pick my nose in the shower.
Yeah. What I'm saying is when I'm in the shower, a lot of times, especially if I take a shower, like when I wake up, I'll blow my nose when I'm in there. Everything's going down the drain. So I guess if you do a
Right,
snot
right.
rocket, there's no real difference. I mean, whatever makes you happy, I
Okay,
guess.
all
but
right. If we saying the exception is just the shower,
the only
everything else
exception
is off limits.
Yeah, and if like I said, like if you're in the bathroom, there's no toilet paper for some reason. I guess if you want to do that into the sink, I mean, whatever. But what I'm saying is,
That's still kind of nasty, bro.
well, I mean, it's getting stuff. I'm not saying you should do it. I'm saying if you're in dire straits, you go to the bathroom, there's nothing in there somehow, and you're in a rush, and if you really want to snot rocket it into the toilet or in the bat or into the sink, whatever. But outside of that, when you're in the privacy of something like that, no, you should never be snot rocket. You're literally. I mean, what's the difference between that? How far away is that from just taking a shit in public? You're just getting some substance out of your body.
I've seen that though. I've seen that in the train station one time.
Dude, you want to hear one?
Not by a bum, not by a bum, by a female that was just looked like she was just super drunk and like pissed and shit on the platform.
Dude, you want to hear? I have like a similar story. This was like right before COVID. It's like 2 years ago at this point. And it was morning and I was waiting. I usually wait towards like the end of the train, like not the very, very end, but like a little bit before it. And this woman came and I'm pretty sure she was homeless. She didn't look very nice. And she walked over to this guy who's at the very end. And she was like, there's a few people. And she's like, excuse me, guys. I don't want to be rude here, but I got to use the bathroom. I'm going to use it right here. So if you want to move.
Yikes.
And I was like, holy, like, not very polite of her, but good Lord. And immediately she's homeless. I'm not going to like, what can you do, I guess. But the snot rocket thing, like it's just like the guy or the woman, whoever it is, leaving their shoes on the thing, or the guy who was clipping his fucking nails on the train.
It's COVID. It's Omicron. It's out.
It's Omicron. It's Delta. It's all these things now.
It's out here, man.
But even
like,
Terrance, hold on. We can't say that because of those things you shouldn't do it, because that makes
but you would think that gives it a heightened sense.
It's a double reason not to do it, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like,
you already should never do it.
This is a lot of germs.
We're quite literally in a pandemic that is spread via like breath. So now there's 3 reasons. There's you should never do it. There's you should never do it, and then there's the pandemic reason.
This is crazy. This is
what I mean, Tam. I'm just telling you what I'm observing in the world, bro.
My company's holiday party was canceled because they were like, look, we don't want to cause a super spreader event. Like, yeah. And I was like, that's responsible. I have no problem with that. Absolutely. It's got
we're getting out of hand. I'm just saying, like, human beings as a whole, we're getting gross. You know what I mean? Like, it's just getting disgusting.
It's nasty. It's nasty out here.
All right, Terrance, let's go on to our first kind of thing here. Well, actually, the first one I want to talk to you about, Terrance, do you curse a decent amount in your life, right? I mean, it's not like me and you never curse.
It's not it's not like I never. It's just I
think I curse probably a little more than you, but I don't actually have to curse constantly, but I curse. Do you curse? Do you have limits where, like, do you curse in front of your mom? Do you feel that's one of those things where you're like, no, I don't do that?
Nope. Out of respect, I won't do that.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, it's not that my mom would get mad at me for cursing, but my mom doesn't really want to hear cursing. And so out of respect, I'm like, I don't. Yeah. Same thing with, like, not necessarily
We're
anyone
still their kids, regardless.
Exactly. So it's not like it's not necessarily anyone who's older than me, but if there's a certain kind of relationship, I do feel there's a level of respect. Like, my dad curses a lot in front of me, so I will still curse in front of him sometimes, but it's definitely less. I definitely feel like I should. He's my father. I should give him that respect. You
got to show a little bit of respect around your older family members. Not my cousins and everything like that. Like, it's a different story.
Yeah.
But not in front of my mom.
Yeah, but even if, like, let's say what about like Miss Sylvia? Like, if you bumped into Miss Sylvia right now, would you go, I should fuck Miss Sylvia? No, you tell that to her face.
I'm gonna be.
I fucking remember you, Miss Sylvia. Remember me?
I'm gonna be for Miss Sylvia. But nah, same. I wouldn't curse.
Yeah, there's a certain level, especially like if you're not cursing and you're like 50 plus. I almost feel like there's a level of respect that you've earned. That if you don't want to hear cursing, then I won't be the person to curse.
I don't even have alcohol out around my parents. Like, do they know I drink? Like, I like Christmas coming up.
I've never drank with my parents ever.
Like, Christmas coming up, I won't have the bottle like just like sitting on the table or something like that. Like, I'll pour it in a cup, I'll put the bottle away, or maybe like that. Like out of just like this.
There's a level of respect, right? Like, you feel like
like this.
I feel
like I can do my thing. Nobody minds that I'm having a drink or whatever.
Yeah, obviously my parents have
keep it level.
When I have like girlfriends, they obviously know like I'm sleeping with them, but it's not something we talk about. It's like, this is just a private thing that's going on in my life as an adult, but like that's not something I think I need to discuss with you, or even I'm saying you don't just need to know.
You don't need to tell your parents that you clapping cheeks.
Is that a term? Clapping cheeks?
You clapping the cheeks. You don't need to tell your parents.
You'll learn something new every day. Clapping cheeks. There you go, Terrance. I haven't clapped some cheeks in a while. Let me tell you.
Yeah, clap the cheeks.
But all right, Terrance, you believe you told me you have a story to tell this week.
Yeah, rare occasion, but Joe, I got a story to tell.
Did it? All right, Terrance, what's your story?
Joe.
Oh boy, that's not a good start.
I was in an awkward situation the other day, bro. Awkward situation. So
Okay.
my boy came in town. He's working out of Atlanta, but we've been boys for years, so when he comes to town, we hang out. He came to town and we hit up a spot and everything. And we're just having a good time and just kind of at the bar, right? Now I know one of my other guys there. He's like an OG mentor. He actually was our Black Excellence Shout Out of the Week one time. I'm not gonna say his name, obviously, but he was a Black Excellence Shout Out of the Week. And he was already there. He was like, I shot him a text. I was like, I was just like, heard you was here. What's up? Blah, 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 blah. He was like, yeah, I'm here. He was like, you dolo or you with somebody? I was like, at the time I was
where's
dolo.
this term dolo come from, by the way?
Solo dolo.
Yeah, no, but there's no reason for the D. It was just it just became a thing.
What didn't I tell you? Black people always got to make some other shit up.
No, I do know that, but like sometimes like ham wasn't just invented. It stands for its acronym, right? Like, so that's my question was: is there a reason for dolo, or is it sounds like solo?
It's just solo dolo.
But it's interesting to find these things out. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah. So he was like, yeah, you with somebody? I was like, nah, I'm solo dolo right now, but he about to pull up soon. He was like, all right, cool. So enjoy the night and everything like that. And then a little later, he's at his table with his guy, whatever. I know his guy too. So I was like, look, my boy is here. Do you mind if we join y'all? Right? That's out of respect, right? Mm-hmm. You go to somebody has a table on a spot. You don't have a table on the spot. When you can't really get a table right now, out of respect, if you bring in somebody else, because they know you, they don't know the other person,
right? They
know you. So I'm the liaison now. So I go, hey, is it cool if, my boy comes through, whatever? He's cool. They like, all right, cool. No problem. So I appreciate you. Right. We go sit at the table, having a good time. Right now had a drink, order some food. Joe, these two motherfuckers start getting into an argument about gentrification.
Oh boy, what are the?
Both of them are black.
Okay.
Both of them are black.
Thank you.
Right. So here's the thing.
How quickly does this argument start? Like, are you there for like 10 minutes?
15 minutes into the taste, sitting at the table.
That's not long enough to.
Right. So my boy that came from into town, he had mentioned something because the area is different, right? You come and he's like, yo, we used to be in here and it's different now and everything. So I'm like, yeah, it's real different or whatever. And he had said something and then alluded to gentrification. And my OG was like, well, why do you call it gentrification? It was like, is it gentrification just because it's change, or is it gentrification because it's gentrification? Mm-hmm. And they got into a little tiff about that. The whole time, Joe, I'm just sitting there eating my spicy rigatoni.
Terrance is just like, I'm not getting involved.
I'm just sitting there eating my spicy rigatoni, and I'm like,
yeah, some rigatoni. Oh, all right, I appreciate that.
If this shit go left, what am I gonna do?
That is okay. So that is an awkward situation. You're saying,
what am I gonna do?
So you have two friends, and you don't,
my boys,
but neither of them know each other ahead of time, and now they're in an argument.
This is the first time they ever sat down and spoke to each other.
That is tough.
They both my boys though, right? I don't have a choose a side on this one.
Yeah,
because y'all both my boys. But I'm like, damn, this shit's getting there, whatever. I try to throw a joke or two in the middle. It ain't even work.
Oh, I try that sometimes too. You try to just
I tried to
be like,
throw
what
a
about
joke
this,
in there to diffuse the shit or whatever.
Didn't work.
It didn't work. It still was getting there. Build up.
Geez.
And then it kind of chilled. Or whatever. But we didn't talk about nothing else
It's just like the conversation just died.
Conversation kind of died.
Yeah.
Conversation kind of died, bro. And then, I ordered another round of drinks. I was like, let me get another round of drinks for the table, because I appreciate everybody being here today. Because it's just so
really trying to bring it back.
Have everybody here.
Oh man, that's tough, man. It's a tough situation to be in.
It's awkward, man. It's awkward.
Yeah, because like you don't. Obviously, if you bring one friend, you meet some other friend, like you don't want. And you want things just to go well, right? Like you don't want fights to start in general, but then like you're kind of in a weird place where like you don't want to take sides, and it's like, well, what do you even like I said, you try to diffuse it with some jokes, but if it's not going through, that is like not a good situation to be in.
Bro, and it's crazy, right? Because you think about it, all of your friends won't get along, right? Just because this person is a friend of mine and this person is a friend of mine don't mean that they're going to be friends together. Yeah, and it is a weird situation because like ideally you would like that to be, because like if you're cool with me, you should be cool with each other. But
in an ideal world,
dynamics just don't work out as well.
That's something that you also have to deal with, like when you meet your girlfriend's friends. Like you've dealt with that, where you have to meet them and you want to make a good impression, but sometimes
all my girlfriend's friends. Shout out to Jalen.
That happened with one of my exes, where like I'm sure I mentioned on the show once, where like I met her friends like in a big like group event, like Thanksgiving, like Friendsgiving type of thing. Mm-hmm. And it seemed everything went fine. But then there were these two, one of her friends and that friend's girlfriend, they just love drama. And like literally 6 months later,
I remember.
April, they were like, oh yeah, we were offended by something. And I was like, what the fuck's happening? And that led to just massive split between everybody. It was a mess. Anyway. Yeah, that's tough, man. That's tough. What ended up happening? Like you just kind of like try to eventually play it off.
OG left.
Like because of everything, or he was like,
no. He was just finished, and
I guess it's the best case scenario.
He wasn't really
once
having that much conversation.
Starts.
It was just like, all right, well, I'm gonna head out of here. You have a good time. Pleasure meeting everybody. We ended amicably, right? We ended. Everybody dapped each other up. It was like they started calling him gentrification.
That doesn't help.
It was just like, all right, we out.
That's one of those things where like that's the best case you can hope for once a fight kind of starts, is everything then ends. Not
a fight.
A
debate.
Yeah, a debate, disagreement, whatever you want to call it. But that's the best case, right? No one got too upset. No one got really angry. Just it kind of was awkward. But yeah, it's unfortunate. Like you don't want to take anyone's side. You might want to be like, he is right about X, Y, and Z, but you do want to kind of just figure out a way to diffuse it without it going anywhere. Because it is a lose-lose if you try to take sides.
Oh no, for sure. For sure.
That's awkward now. I'm sorry, man.
Nah.
At least everything ended well enough, right? Like.
Yeah. We got through it. We got through it. That was the best thing that could happen. It's just that we got through it. That's all it is. Man.
That's unfortunate. Terrance, let me ask you a quick question. Are there any leftovers? Like, I mean, it doesn't have to be leftovers, I guess, but obviously, are there anything food that you eat cold that's not made cold? Or obviously like ice cream or fruit. But like, have you ever had like
fried chicken cold?
Oh, dude, chicken's a good one.
Fried chicken cold.
Chicken's a good one.
Shit, I'll eat it right out the refrigerator.
It's
sober or drunk.
I will agree with you. Chicken is one of those things that is, especially like fried chicken, like breaded type stuff. It's very good cold. When I make chicken cutlets, sometimes I'll eat more of them cold than I will hot. They're that good.
No, I can't do that.
I don't know. I can.
Chicken cutlet one. I ain't tried that one.
Well, chicken cutlet and fried chicken, I mean, not that different. I mean,
yeah, but it's something about the bone.
It's something about the bone you like.
Yeah, it's something about that bone.
I hate bones. I've always hated bones.
Bone in the middle, chicken.
What about pizza?
Pizza. I can't have cold pizza.
What? Have you tried it?
Actually, no. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, dude, you should. I think there was an ESPN show called Cold Pizza, because it's like that. It's that much of a thing. Pizza is like one of the best ones cold, especially if you have like ham or pepperoni or something on your pizza. Yeah. Dude, I just ate that yesterday actually. Yeah, that's it's a weird one that I've done. Chinese food. Chinese food, like you
Chinese cold.
Yeah, it's like the General Tso's. Like it sounds gross. I'm not saying it doesn't, but I've done that and been like, this is really good. Like not the whole thing, but a few bites. I'm like, I'm feeling this. Is that weird?
Nah, it's weird.
All right, Terrance. You actually have another topic for us today.
Yeah. I had a lot on my mind this week, Joe.
That's good. That's what's great about the show. It's just two guys vibing, man. Whatever.
I had a lot on my mind. I was watching this. It's like a series documentary on Showtime called Couples Therapy. Definitely recommend watching it. It'll really like.
The name of the show is Couples Therapy?
The name of the show is called Couples Therapy. Yeah.
Is it like a reality show?
See, that's the thing. Kind of reality, kind of docu,
Okay.
kind of serious. Like is you know, I don't
So
think
it's not
scripted.
stupid. Like
No, it's not.
Okay.
No. Nah, it's like real thought-provoking shit, right? But one of the couples got on there and they was just talking about how their intimate life is kind of not where they, you know, used to have it and things like that. Right.
That sucks.
And
by the way, that's a big listen. For all those we talked about this before, sex is a big part of a relationship. It's not the only part, but it's a big part.
It is a part. It has a percentage. If it has a percentage, it counts. Right?
Yeah, and it's a big percentage. It's like fucking 25%.
It counts. It counts. So one of the guys was like, yeah, like she doesn't even go down on me anymore. And the therapist asked, like, well, how do you present that? And he was just kind of
how do you
stuck.
present like asking for?
Yeah, exactly. He was kind of stuck. And then I kind of thought about it too. I was like, oh shit. Like how
are you asking her for head?
How
like,
do you ask? Like
what did she say? Like, oh, he never asks, or did he just
you know, you just get a sign and just be like, can I have some throat?
Some throat. Oh god, definitely don't say that if you're listening. If you're young and listening, don't ever ask a girl for throat because she'll just.
I mean, that's what they're calling it now. They're calling them throat babies.
That's gross. That's just gross though.
Joe, I'm telling you, it's a thing. There's a music video and a song too.
Oh, with a music video, then it must be good. No, I'm out.
They're throat babies now.
So is your topic you're asking how to ask?
How do you ask now, right? Like when your last relationship, right? Yeah. How did you ask? How did you ask for head?
So for me, it's not that hard because number one,
Oh, really? I got the book on this shit.
Listen, for me, I'm not big into head. Like I like getting head, of course, but it's not a big thing. And if you ask any of my exes, they'll tell you that like they didn't go down on me that much. It was not that common. But and also part of it is that I almost always go down on them first. Right.
Oh, so you get the return favor.
Kind of, yes. The thing, like if you
get the guilty head. That's what
it's not guilty, man. I mean, listen,
you come up, she's like, well, you did me, I gotta do you.
She should want to give head just like you want to give head. That's the point. Like you're involved, you're having sex, you should both want these things. But yeah, like I don't know, if you go down on a girl and you make her come a couple of times, like yeah, like it's not that hard to be like, all right. And sometimes I don't even say anything, you just kind of present it. You know what I mean?
Is it, let me ask you this, here's a better question.
All right.
Is it part of having sex now?
Is getting head?
Is getting head just par for the course?
Yeah, I mean, I think it should be. Like I said, for me, there's definitely a lot of times I just haven't gotten it. But listen, every couple's different. Every relationship is different. But like, if it depends on what you want. Like, if I love going down on girls, so that's always a part of the repertoire. But like if she doesn't like that or she wants something else, then you have to kind of go with that. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, like listen, this isn't 1950 anymore.
Just be like, look, we can go down together. You know,
we can do that. I've been.
We could just do this together.
But that's the thing, man.
No one's upset.
But that's the thing, man. That's interesting. When you get married, you'll be togethers. Huh.
We talked about this already.
Did we? You did, right? That's awesome.
Yeah, we did.
Oh man.
Togethers.
Togethers. We gotta do something with that at your wedding. Anyway. But the thing is, like, you
gotta trademark it.
You definitely have to trademark that. But you definitely, I think it's all, you have to be able to ask these things. Like the therapist is right. Like if you like a certain thing in bed and the other person doesn't know that, it's not really their fault that they don't know that. Like you have to kind of say it. This goes for any gender, it doesn't matter who you are. Or non-gender even, like you got to just straight up say like, hey, I want this, because I do that. I'm just gonna tell you what I want, you know. Obviously, I guess there's goofy way, you know, I'm like, Katie, can you suck my dick? Like I guess there's like awkward ways of saying it, but you know, like I don't know, or
you just gotta push her head down gently so she gets the clue.
Yeah, but honestly,
I've done that. I've been in a position where I just kind of like gently try to push her head to that direction to see if she kind of understands. You know, obviously,
and sometimes she doesn't, and I just move on.
This is before I've been in, you know, this long relationship, you know, back in the days. But you know, sometimes it worked out, you know, and then
you know what it is, man.
Sometimes she's just been like, stop.
I think Would you stop pushing? What's wrong with you?
What are you doing?
You only paid for regular. No. You didn't pay for that. You know what it is? I'm telling you, communication. That this therapist is right. Communication is important because, like with me, like for instance, I've had like let's say you start messing around in your foreplay, and let's say your girl is like sitting down, going down on you. I've straight up said, no, get on all fours while you do this because that's much better for me to look at. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you got to see the arch in the back.
Yes, thank you.
Gotta
and like,
see the arch in the back.
I've never had a woman get upset. You're telling them what you want, and they don't. They're like, fine. Same thing with them. Tell me what you want, and I will do it. Like, you got to communicate in bed. I'm telling you, like, this isn't the 50s where you got to be like awkward and like you don't want to say everything you want. Just say what you want because chances are they're probably fine with it. Maybe if you're into some weird shit, maybe they're not. But you got to at least try.
Joe, I do not disagree with your advice. Yeah. I don't disagree with your advice at all. I think being transparent about it and everything is great. I don't have a butt.
I thought you was like a butt.
No. I don't have a butt. Yeah. I'm probably just a little bit more reckless. Well, at least I used to be a little bit more reckless, with in terms of
like what you would say.
Yeah, in terms of what I would say, or just kind of like more so imply it or whatever. Like if she was laying on the bed, I would just kind of, walk to her,
put it there in her face.
Yeah, just kind of like walk to her mouth.
I've done that before too. I've done that before too. You know what it is? I don't think that's bad, but I know about myself. I'm very vocal when it comes to like bed. I'm fine. I don't really feel that much more embarrassment or like shyness about it. Like if we're at this point where we've already been like seeing each other in some capacity, we're making out, clothes are coming off. Like we both know what's going on. So I no longer feel like, oh, I shouldn't say like suck my dick. I'm just gonna say what I want because who are you being shy for? You two are already naked
my
together.
Dick ever allowed though?
Oh yeah.
Really?
I think you could say that. Yeah, it depends on the relationship, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's other ways to say it, but you could talk more about her lips, I guess, than your own dick. But
suck my dick. Like that's
you can put your lips on it. I want to see those lips on it. You know what I mean? Like, it to me in the moment, these things sound crazier when you're not in the moment, but in the moment to me, nothing sounds weird. It's just all fine. Like I've never had any woman be like, well, no, don't say that again. Like not really. I don't know.
I feel you.
Yeah, I'm saying you, be vocal, say what you want when it doesn't matter what you are, because I'm telling you, for me, a huge turn on is a woman just straight up telling me. I love nothing more. If a woman says, can you please go down on me? I am so into that.
She got to say, please.
She didn't have to say anything. She could just say the words, eat me. If she says, eat me out, I will just do it because that's what I want. I want to know what she wants.
You say that, it's about to be on like popcorn.
That's what I'm saying. Meal. That's what I'm saying. This is what I mean. I think a lot of people get like shy. They don't want to say it, but I think a lot of times the person on the other end, they're really into that. You tell me, I'm going to go down on you 2 seconds. You tell me to do it.
Certain men, I could say certain men, right? But men that are like, and I hate using this term, but alpha males, right?
Right.
Like alpha females. Now, alpha females don't have to be thuggish, ruggish bitches, but assertiveness in a feminine form is super attractive. It's just super attractive. It's like seeing that CEO woman that's running this multi-billion-dollar company.
There's a level of attraction there, right?
Right, exactly.
Right,
just like women would say the same thing, right?
Yeah, there's something about power. I'm not like overly into it, but I do understand the kind of like someone who can carry themselves with that kind of confidence, regardless of what they're doing. There is like an attraction there.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
But what's unfortunate? Like I kind of actually do agree with you. Like alphas kind of go after like other alphas, but unfortunately for me, like I guess I'm kind of an alpha. I'm more of an extrovert in general. I find myself often with women who are more introverts. You know what I mean? So it's not as often like more often not. Obviously, if you're an alpha type of person, you're obviously an extrovert, and if you're not, and so it is. I've often found myself like I only a couple times of finding that kind of woman where I'm like, this is what I want. Just fucking say it.
She gotta match your fly. She gotta match your fly, man.
That's 100% right, man. I do think it is hard, man. Because obviously everyone's different. Not everyone likes the exact level of assertiveness in bed or
Listen,
whatever it is. But
listen, it makes it complicated. I'm speaking from a fact. Me and Corey, we bub heads sometimes because sometimes I'm like, yo, this is man shit. Like, stop.
this
Like,
is man shit.
And I'm saying that in, you know, trying to be non-sexist as possible, whatever. But sometimes she's just so like, hey, I'm independent, I'm strong, I can do for me.
Oh, like so she'll take charge in bed.
She'll try to, you know, and it'd be like, hold on, wait a second.
See,
like
that's what I mean.
Chill out for a second.
This is where I mean, like, it can be tricky because everyone is kind of different. Like I don't necessarily want. I'm with you too. I don't necessarily want any girl I'm with to be any woman I'm with to be maybe too aggressive, but I want them to be a bit. It is a weird balance. I think it's almost unfair.
It is
to expect that sometimes.
Right,
you know, like
exactly.
How do they know?
Exactly, and you need them. The thing about it is that you need them to feel comfortable to take a step back. So after a certain amount of time, eventually, you know, and just like my girl, like eventually she died down and she was like, all right, cool, I know he got it.
It's compromise, man. You got to kind of
and just like, you know,
find
like,
the balance.
Now you could kind of just do your thing or whatever and let me handle this, you know, like stop fucking opening the door for yourself. I got you.
Has there ever been a time in bed where a chick did something that you really were not very into, but you went with it maybe the first time because you were like, wow,
she got too close to my asshole when she was licking.
Oh my God, bro, women need to stop with that shit.
She got a little too close.
That is just listen,
close.
Just like how you can't just put it in a girl's ass without asking. It's the same for men. You need to know if they're into that. And if they're not, then they're very not into it. Okay. So you need to understand to relax.
I was like, this is good, but your tongue too long.
just take a step back a little bit.
Yeah, tongue's a little bit too long, you know. And stop playing with the balls. All right. You don't know how hard or soft to grab it.
Well, that's another
play with it.
That's another communication thing though, because I don't mind that either, but you have to be able. You got to start low with any pressure or anything. And as a guy, you got to give her communication about it, man. You can't just assume she's going to know these things.
Yeah, you gotta figure that out, you know. But I just think that, you know, I feel like men go with the flow a lot more than women when it comes to sex. I think
women go along with a lot, man. I think it's like,
no. But I feel like, come on, let's not act like women don't be fucking up. Like, she ain't riding that good. She's off rhythm. She's completely off beat. This ain't working. I'm going up. You coming up too. You supposed to be coming down. Like, come on.
That's annoying. That's why I rarely
go with the flow more. I feel like more than women. I'm actually just putting that out there.
Maybe it's for me, but I feel like a lot of women, they tend to kind of let the guy lead the way, right? Like, that's generally, I guess, obviously it's very broad strokes.
Now when you
painting
riding,
with, huh?
Not when she riding.
But what I'm saying is, more often than not, I decide if she's going to go on top. It just depends on the woman, obviously, but like more often than not, women kind of let you decide what's the next position.
Yeah, you got to flip it over a few times. You know,
I'm not a big fan of. I'm kind of a control freak with these things, so I don't even I don't mind women to be on top. But I definitely don't go for that as often. It's like whatever.
You're not really. You don't enjoy that?
There was a woman I was with once who was a bit more aggressive with it, and she knew she was doing. You know, she was about she would do it, and then she'd be like, "Oh, I'm going to do reverse now, get you a better view." And I'm like, "This is great. Yes, that's what I want. I want that.
Yeah,
I want you to be a go-getter. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, do that shit."
She gotta know what she's doing. But I've been in situations where the rhythm's been off. I like literally.
Was she drunk or no? It was just a normal.
Nah, she was sober. She just literally didn't have the proper rhythm. Happens. It's just like, I need to turn on like some Kenny G or some shit so you can ride the beat. Like, I don't understand what's happening right now.
It happens, man. I'm telling you, that does happen.
Completely crazy, man.
All right, Terrance, this is like I said, our last show of the year. So we hope we've been doing the show for virtually the entire year. Obviously, our anniversary is coming up in 2 weeks. Shit. But happy New Year, happy holidays. Obviously, this is after most of the holidays have started, but for
sure.
Happy holidays to everybody.
Be safe.
Yes, be safe for everything. We will.
It is not cool to let your friends drive drunk. I don't give a damn how much fun you had. You know, New Year's is coming up, Christmas is coming up, and holidays are kind of season is here. We understand there's going to be a lot of alcohol consumption.
You want to know what I did the other week, Terrance?
It's not cool. Don't let your friends drive drunk.
Terrance, literally yesterday, I had one of my final exams, right? And we had to go in person for whatever reason. Don't ask me why. The 100% of the class is online, but they wanted us to go in for a final in person. I have no idea. I have 3 exams. 2 of my professors were like, we're not going in. That doesn't make any sense. But one of them did. Afterwards, I finally met some of these people I kind of knew. And then these 2 dudes who me, all 3 of us kind of talked a bit during class, like outside of it a little bit, like with stuff that's going on. Mm-hmm. And after we all left kind of class, because this exam ended, a few of us talking, and me and these 2 dudes just went to this bar. It was like literally 2:00 on a fucking Thursday, bro.
Yo, day drinking is popping.
I'm not a big drinker. We talked in the show. I don't drink that often. It's something it's fun, but I don't know. I don't.
But if you're gonna do it before 10.
What?
Do it. Drink before 10
a.m.
No, 10 p.m.
No, I mean don't tell people to drink earlier.
I'm just saying you could go to sleep still. You can sober up and still.
Or you just don't have to drink all the time. You don't have to promote alcoholism.
Yeah. No. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna look, I'm a fan of day drinking.
God.
Like
anyway,
2 to like 6.
Anyway, it was like 2:00 on a Thursday, and I'm out, and we went to this random bar. It was empty, which is nice, obviously because of COVID. And we just got a bunch of drinks, and we played some pool. We hung out, and it was really cool. It was like a couple hours, and then we just were, all right, we'll see you guys later. And it was like me and these dudes barely talked. We've never saw each other in person. We've only talked a handful of times over text. But it was totally fine. We got along so well. By the way, might be getting into Bitcoin, Terrance. These guys, I've been waiting for someone to tell me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I literally was like, because both of them are finance. Like, one's a finance major, one was accounting. And I was like, and they were talking about it. I was like, listen, I'm like, I need someone to explain Bitcoin. And
how does this shit work?
They kind of put it in a way that does kind of make sense, and it's like an investment. And I was like, you are selling me, man. Like, you're absolutely selling me right now on it. And so we'll talk off air, me and you, but I think I might have to do some of this, man.
Yeah, when you learn it, let me know, because I've been
we'll
talk
about it after the show.
It's just so much.
I think they explained it in actually a very easy way to understand it. You don't even necessarily need to understand the whole scope of it. But like I said, we'll talk off air. But anyway, it was a really fun time. I got so drunk so quick because I haven't
drunk in so long.
It's because of that. Yeah, that's probably one of the biggest reasons. But also, like, I ate breakfast at like 10, and then I left at like 10:45. Go downtown. The exam was 100 minutes. By the time it was like 4 or 5 hours. I had a bagel in me, so I had nothing in my. So I had like a whiskey sour. And I was like, I'm already feeling this. And then I ended up getting they bought like 2 different shots. We had shots. And then the lady thought we ordered another drink, a whiskey sour, and I didn't. And she was like, I was on the house. So I had like another whiskey sour. And I was like, it was like hours before I was all right again. But it was fine because it was the middle of the day. So it's not like I needed to have a hangover in it. But
right, exactly. See? It
was a good time. And I was responsible. I took a train to and from. That's how you got to do it. But of course, Terrance, we of course end every show with a hypothetical.
What you got?
You might have to really think about this one, but let's say there's one person who's no longer alive, right? Someone famous or well-known that you could bring back for one day, just to have a conversation, right? He's not really going to explore the world or anything, but you could bring them back to sit them down and talk to them. And that you have a whole day to do whatever, talk to them, get their experience, like their knowledge, or even just get their stories. And not to be like, you're learning something, but of all the people who you know of, like, who would be one of those people you're like even like, it could even be like JFK, you're like, do you know who killed you, or something like that? Like,
that's a great question.
A lot of people in the world who've died,
great question. A lot of,
like, Tupac would be interesting, but would he be interesting enough?
The richest place is actually in the graveyard. That's what they say. Old folks will say. The richest place is in the graveyard because of the wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, it also depends how far back. Like, Ben Franklin would be super interesting, but would he be that interesting? Like, would he be interesting enough for this time?
It's a great question.
I'm trying to think myself. Like, I didn't really put myself for this one either. Like, who's a good?
You know what it is, Joe?
Jay-Z's still alive. Can't choose Jay-Z. No Wesley Snipes.
I'd be stuck between Malcolm X and Michael Jackson.
Those are interesting ones, man.
And the reason being is
not Martin Luther King.
Not Martin Luther King.
Okay.
I feel like both of those 2 men were so misunderstood. And I would want to understand what they weren't able to allow the world to, because we still get random facts and information about both of these men, right?
Especially Michael Jackson.
Right. Just random shit just pops up, right?
That's the thing. You can even ask him about
go
a lot of
through
that
so
stuff.
much, right? Exactly.
But if
Both
you
of
like,
them
did
had
you
to go
really,
through so much,
did you really mess
shit.
around with kids? You know, like you could even ask
Right?
him.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
And if he's like, no, it's like,
Let's
well, fuck.
ask that. Let's ask that question.
Because that would be, if he said no, you'd be like, oh, this shit, everyone's saying this shit. What's going on? You know, like
yeah. I would want to know the shit that they went through, right? Because there's probably things that they had to deal with behind closed doors that obviously we weren't privy to.
Oh yeah,
you know,
especially something like Malcolm X.
Malcolm X, yeah, who went through so many transformations from what we see on like the biopics and stuff like that. But like, okay, what did you actually go through when you were kind of like disbanded from, the and I'm mad that this fucking slipping my mind right now, but the Muslim chapter. I wish I remember the name. I wish I remember the name, but yeah, just like a bunch of shit, and like, let's ask Michael, what the fuck did Joe do? Like, we saw that, but for all we know, Joe could have been a child molester. Like,
yeah.
we don't know. Like, two men that went through a lot of hardship that I think me as being somebody that just cares about people would want to understand just a little bit better. Just a little bit.
Those are good calls, man. I think you're right. There's a lot of like you're misunderstood about them that we just don't know, and to be able to sit down and talk with them and get that would be interesting. It'd be interesting. Yeah. Trying to figure out who I would choose. I actually don't really know. I mean, there's a lot of really fascinating people that have lived in this world. Like we did talk about Thomas Jefferson. I think he'd be an interesting person. Because he's a really smart individual who did a lot of great things. Obviously, not everything was great, but he did a lot of interesting things. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to think of like maybe someone who's died somewhat young. Don't know. I'm actually surprised. I probably should talk about this ahead of time. Heath Ledger would be interesting.
Heath's a good one.
Heath Ledger is still so sad that he died because he was really just a hell of an actor,
He's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know. Or James Dean would be interesting. James Dean's also an actor. He obviously died in like 1955, but I do think it'd be interesting. I probably wouldn't waste it on this, but I would be like Lee Harvey Oswald would be interesting because we never really got to hear what his side of the story was, like, cause he died, they got shot like not too long after he was arrested. So that would be interesting just to hear what he actually had to say about the situation, like if he was set up or what it was, but I probably wouldn't waste it on him because I don't know if he has that much else to say other than that one situation, but that could be interesting.
Right.
But anywho, Terrance, that wraps up the show. If you want to email us, you can, of course, email us needisaymorepod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter. They're both at needisaymorepod. But that's it for me, Terrance. You got anything else?
No, fun episode. I had a lot of fun today.
Yeah, it's a good one.
But understand, when you're asking for head, please act nicely because you got to understand that she could have been anywhere in the world, but she should decide to be here with us. And we appreciate that. Need I say more?